So it's been 592 days exactly. It's June 5th today. So I started my first SMMA in October 26th, 2022. And in this video, it's going to be a very raw video, to the point, no bullshit, not edited at all, not scripted. I have no notes apart from the day I started my SMMA journey. And yeah, I'm just going to give my thoughts and experiences, raw thoughts, the brutally honest truth of SMMA in this video. So let's get into it. First of all, how did I come across SMMA? So obviously, I'm 21 at the moment, but when I finished high school, I did the traditional path and kind of went to uni. I was studying finance and cybersecurity at a local university in my hometown, which is Perth, Western Australia. And I always knew I wanted to make money. I think I picked cybersecurity because I knew that you could easily get a job in uni, and it was like a guaranteed 6-figure job if you stick it out. So I think that's why I did it. I didn't necessarily like it. Sure, I had a bit of coding skills and knew a bit about computer science, but anyway, that's besides the point. So during COVID, when that hit, obviously I did a bit of research on like dropshipping, Amazon FBA, even looked at SMMA, but I didn't really do anything. I was just consuming a bunch of free YouTube content from all the gurus, watched like Tai Lopez and all that shit. And I never really took action. So this was like in 2020. That was my first like taste of like this whole online money thing. I knew it was possible, but I guess I just didn't want it enough. I was too comfortable. I was still young. There was no real urgency for me to make money. I was like, oh, I'll just do uni just like all my other friends, right? Then I started my first side hustle in 2021. So it's called matched betting. Pretty much, you're not really gambling. You're kind of using the bookmakers, betting on like sports, horses, etc., and kind of using their promotions to your advantage, where mathematically you're going to win long term. So that was my first side hustle and my first real taste of money. Now, I was only making like 500 a week on average, probably. Some weeks I'd lose money, some weeks I'd make 1,000. I've hit multi $2,000 weeks before. And this was as like an 18, 90-year-old, right? Living at home. So, 1,000, 2,000 a week from 6 hours of work, probably maybe 10 hours of work a week, was like insane to me, right? To the point where I literally didn't even have to work a job. That being said, like there was a point maybe mid 2022 where I was, doing this match betting thing, and I knew I was only limited to like $1,000 or $2,000 a week at most. And that's only what, like 100K a year. I mean, I'm saying only, but that's just 'cause I have really high standards and I want to make a lot of money, right? So I knew this side hustle was very limited. But the guys I learned from, I bought a course. It was like $1,000 at the time, plus like a monthly subscription of like, another $100. Learned a lot. That like I can give most of my credit to them, where I learned a lot about mindset, money management, risk, expected value, return on investment, all these things, like even just the mindset of like tracking, not using your emotions, because I've been scammed. Well, not scammed, but I've lost, I think, like $8,500 from 2 days of this match betting thing because I was greedy and I decided to go against all the rules. And essentially I lost $8,500. Anyway, that's a story for another video, but yeah, I've learned a lot from these guys, and I knew I wanted to make money. So then obviously came across a bit of Tate's content and found myself in Hustlers University 2.0. So there was like a few options of what to learn. There was like freelancing, Amazon FBA, dropshipping, crypto, trading. And the thing that made the most sense to me was copywriting. Because, you're just writing a bunch of words on the internet, like in order to sell a product or service, right? So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Let me get into that. And essentially, once that was done, I got to a point where it's like, okay, now you need to start reaching out to clients to offer free, copywriting so you can charge them money for. And you had to pick a niche, right? And at this time, I was pretty like, know where I am now in terms of my mindset, but like I was still mindlessly scrolling on TikTok. I was still playing video games at this point. As I said, I actually quit my job because I was making enough money from this side hustle, like $500 to $1,000 a week, which I was happy with. so I was like super lazy, doing fuck all, literally. Living at home, that was like enough money to, go for beers with the boys, go out for dinner, and even travel a bit. So, yeah, I had no urgency. But as soon as, I got into this Hosties University, did copywriting, and then, trying to pick a niche. I was mindlessly scrolling on TikTok. I came across this guy who, like, I feel like I have a pretty good skill in seeing who's like well spoken or not. I can tell someone if someone's a G or not. Basically, this guy just sounded like a G, and I was like, I want to learn from this guy. And he talked about how he started a real estate agent, a marketing agency. So that's exactly what I did. I reached out to him. Turns out he had a coaching program, and I at the time obviously I didn't know it was a sales call. They're like, with some fake urgency shit, like there's 2 spots left for the month. You have to book in a call to see if you're a good fit. And so I apply and, I book a call, and I realized I'm not even talking to the guy. It was a sales rep, but at the time I thought it was like a business partner. And basically he tells me about the program, talks to me about my goals and stuff. And like I said, I want to make money. I've been doing this side hustle thing, but it's not really enough long term. And essentially he closed me on a 5K USD. So that's 7,500 Australian dollars that I paid as a 19-year-old in October, like October 21 or something, 2022. And then, it was, a good course. Well, you can argue that I probably could have got better courses for the amount of money I paid, but I don't regret it at all. At the time, which I'll get on later, I kind of did regret it, but now looking back, it's like it brought me to where I am. I met a bunch of people. I've done so many other business ventures since then that it's a core part of me, like me enrolling into that thing and paying that amount, because that's what started it all for me. Well, I'd say the side hustle first started, but this was next. So essentially, it was like a course where like the guarantee, and this is what brought me in, was we'll help you land your first paying client or you don't pay. It was a 6-month program, which I think later turned into 8 months. So I had 8 months with him, and I had a full Slack channel communication with the founder, or the guru, or whatever you want to call it. And I was allowed like 3 or 4 Zoom calls in those 8 months. Like everything else was handled on Slack. He made it very clear, like only use a call if it's absolutely necessary. Anyway, I learned about setting up my ABN, my business account, how to set up Stripe, Go High Level, all these things. Actually, funny enough, he white labeled Go High Level. So he said it was his software until I figured out it was Go High Level. Anyway, what next? So I'm going through this course. The main source of outreach, he said do everything like cold call, cold email, Looms, DMs, all this stuff. And that's exactly what I did. And the way he did it was the strategy was you pitch free trials in exchange for a testimonial video. So that's exactly what I did, put up on my website. Couldn't close any of those people into paying clients. And at this time, I had a lot of savings. So I'd say I had like 20 grand plus in savings. So I met a good friend of mine, Leo Moore, and he basically told me, look, you have no urgency. Like, what are you doing? Quit this horse racing stuff, this match betting stuff. And that way you'll have more urgency to make money. And that's exactly what I did. So I had no income at all. Sure, I had a lot of savings. But what I did was, essentially I just kept on working. And to be honest, I didn't work very hard at all. Still mindlessly scrolling TikTok, still playing video games, still, doing some degenerate stuff, which I don't do anymore. But it probably took me around 4 months to get my first paying client, which was like $200 a month, not including ad spend, like a real estate agent. So I was like, that was a huge moment for me, like getting an actual paying client. Before they were all trials who they paid for their own ad spend, but this was like different. Like this was an actual paying client. I was like, damn. And then I was seeing all these, and I have a huge issue with shiny object syndrome. I only cured this probably like a few months ago, probably like at least a year in. I still had this issue, but I'm good now. I'm currently doing what I'm doing, but essentially I was seeing all these case studies from all these kids hitting like 10, 20, 30, 50K a month with SMMA, charging like 2K a month retainers from running simple Facebook ads. And now I realize it's a bit of like an offer sales issue, marketing issue, but essentially I couldn't close people in 1K. It was like too much. And I think since I was working with real estate agents, they're pretty broke. Most of the people I was talking to, and a lot of people I was talking to were pretty arrogant, like in terms of like they don't believe that Facebook works. They want to stick to door knocks, cold calling, and letterbox drops. So yeah, to counter that, what I thought was a good idea was just to undercut my prices. As I said, charging $200 a month retainers, which was so not ideal. Like I was making fuck all money, spending a decent amount of time like doing all these ads and stuff. And yeah, so I kept on doing that. Wasn't making much money at all, making probably like 2K a month. And then I started a bunch of savings at this time, and I came across like a course/community on Twitter. So I joined that. It was 10K USD, so that's 15K AUD, pretty much most of my money at that point. And yeah, actually, before that, like there's a point in like January or December where I paid 4K British pounds for some AI thing that was a complete scam. From known guys in the Twitter space as well, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And I think it was a good thing because it definitely propelled me to work harder, and I didn't have as much savings. That was like 8K AUD, right? A lot of money that was completely just lost, like down the drain. And yeah, it was from guys who are pretty famous on Twitter, so that kind of sucked. But anyway, moving on. Yes, I joined this coaching program for $2,500 a month USD for 4 months, but it was a 6-month program. Actually, it was a 4-month program. And yeah, they basically teach you how to like get more clients with your agency, like landing page, VSL, content, whatever. And yeah, I was trying to get more real estate clients. And in the first like 3 months or so, I was actually doing the work. This was like a US based coaching program. So I was attending the coaching calls 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 12 a.m., you name it. I was doing it. I was putting in the reps. I was sending all the outreach, the emails, the DMs. I was even posting content, and I couldn't get any clients. I was booking sales calls, and a lot of them would be unqualified in terms of like money, which I, looking back, is maybe more of a sales skill issue for me, but still, like it was like super unsustainable. And basically, I talked to the founder who was making multiple 7 figures a year. I'm pretty sure he charges like $2,500 an hour for consulting. And he basically said, look, you're not getting the results in the program, but you're trying hard. All the other coaches can vouch for you. So, I'm happy to get on a one-on-one call with you. So I was like, wow, I have to take this, right? So I took it, and we went through the stats, and he's like, oh, you know what? It's actually all right. Like, you've only done this like with our system for like 3 months. Maybe you should stick to it longer. I think I was making like 4K a month at that point, but it was still like very bad. Like I knew that something was wrong and I had to change something. And then, yeah, basically he said, you know what you should do? You should just start a cold email agency. You already have the skills to make a VSL, a landing page. You already have the cold email stuff set up. Just run it. He literally said, I think I had this call on like a Thursday morning. He said, have it up by Monday or you're stupid. Or you don't really want this. So obviously this guy's making multi-7 figures. I listen to him, and that's exactly what I do. So I make, and it's all about speed. I have a video actually on my YouTube, how I got from 0 to 8 clients in a month, but this is basically in that period there. So this is around like October, November of 2023. So yeah, essentially what happened then was I ran this offer, this cold email offer, performance basis, no case studies, nothing. And I signed 8 clients in a month, paying clients that was. And also during that time, I signed real estate clients as well. Like some came from referrals, some were like follow-ups. And I was like, let me take that. Like that's, I still have my real estate lead gen skills. So why not take those? And it's extra money too. So I did that. And yeah, pretty much fast forward 6 months, here I am still running my cold email agency. I do still have my real estate SMMA, but I don't really, I'm not looking to scale it that much. I do work with very good clients, good real estate agents who understand the long-term I still enjoy running the Facebook ads and doing the go high level backend automations for them. It's still fun. So I've got that going on, but I'm mainly focusing on scaling my cold email agency. So to take away from this video, I would say SMMA is not what it looks like from these gurus. Most of the case studies you see from, zero, like I even talked about this in my 0 to 8 clients a month video. I said, I'm not a beginner. I already had the skills. I was doing this for a year. I already knew how to take sales calls. I knew how to set appointments and all that stuff. So I feel like there's a lot of misconception in the space where people are like, if this guy got 10K a month in a month, so can I. Where it's like, that guy has ran multiple agencies. He's been a sales closer or something. Like there's something where he's learned a skill before, which made it easy for him. So as a complete beginner, it's going to take you 6 months to a year to actually make it like I did, right? So that's the first thing. Second thing is like, you have all the info. You probably don't need, I've spent close to 30 grand in courses, mentors, communities, coaching, up until this point, but you don't have to do it that way. Everything is on YouTube for free. You just need to have the discipline to do the work, actually plan out your day, and don't procrastinate. Don't go on your phone. Don't scroll on TikTok like I did. And yeah, basically it's like, it's all on you. It's all your fault. All of these methods work. All of these money-making methods work. Drop shipping, Amazon, crypto, they all work. In terms of the SMMA space though, like all these gurus, they're genuinely providing value. If they have case studies and it's worked, or if they did it themselves, then like, they're not scammers, they're not grifters. They're there to help you, and it's on you to make it work. And that's putting in the reps, doing the outreach, posting the content, doing the things you don't want to do, like facing hard clients as an example. Or yeah, like if your results suck with your clients, like being honest and open and have a good communication with them. Like you have to do all these things. And for me, I kind of learned that on the job, but like, it'd be better if you guys just take my advice and understand that it's a long game. Like you're not gonna, very rarely are you gonna get to 10K a month in a month. Like it's gonna take 6 months to a year. And I feel like the biggest bottleneck is probably yourself, which is doing the work. Stop getting shiny object syndrome. Just stick to one thing, do enough reps, do enough volume. Like some people complain like, I haven't signed a client. How many DMs have you sent? Like 100. 100 ain't enough. Do 1,000, do 10,000, do 100,000. Then it would be like unreasonable that you don't get a client, right? So yeah, what else can I talk about in terms of like overall experience? I'd say, yeah, the biggest bottleneck is yourself. For me, you don't have to go this way, but I would recommend paying for mentors, courses, coaches, etc. as well. Because that will help you fast track stuff and you can learn from their mistakes. And yeah, you lose when you give up. So many times I wanted to give up. So many times I wanted to be like, screw this. Can I just be an appointment setter or a closer for another agency? I'm pretty confident I can make like 10 grand a month within a few months. But no, I stuck to it and I'm in a pretty good position now. So yeah, I guess if you had to take away anything from the video, it is literally your fault. Like you need to blame everything on yourself, take full responsibility. All these gurus, all these coaches, all these methods work. You just need to stick to one, stop getting shiny object syndrome. What else? And yeah, it's a long-term game. Don't expect results in the short term. A good quote that I heard from somewhere, which I don't know, so I'm not going to quote them, but it's like, you should be doing the boring, hard, mundane work anyway, regardless of whether the tangible results are visible yet. So pretty much that means like sending a bunch of outreach and posting content, which your action should be the goal. Your goal should be the action, not the result. So your goal is, I'm going to send this many amount of outreach and I'm going to post this amount of content. Because once you start thinking like, my goal is, I want to sign a client today, or I want to sign a client a month or something, but you don't do it, like that's going to fuck with your mental health. So yeah, I'd say the goal is to do that. And you have to understand leverage and like consistency, because as I said, it's a numbers game. So if you just stay consistent, keep sending DMs or emails, cold calls, whatever, and you what's I gonna say? And you post content, then it's like unreasonable for you to get a client. So it's like, yeah, while you know you're not really booking sales calls yet, you're not really making money. Like, just if you just keep doing it, regardless of whether you're making money or not, in the long term you're gonna win. So that took me a long time to understand. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. I hope you guys have a good take away some good stuff. Like, yeah, this is the brutal, honest truth. This is my experience. This is my journey. Yeah, if you made it to the end of the video, congratulations. But now you should get back to work, honestly. Like, if you watch the video, that's just you procrastinating. I mean, if you get inspired, then that's good too. But just get back to work. Send more emails, send more DMs. Pick up the phone and start dialing, do more cold calls, and post content. And yeah, you'll book more sales calls than you can imagine, and you'll start signing more clients. So yeah, that's my experience with SMMA. Hope you guys found it valuable. Peace.